Yeah, black and gold game. I mean, it's 7 years going strong, and I know many years before that I've been here, but I mean, it's always great to get our fans out to see our team before we head down to Florida. You know, we've been having a great off season, great preseason, being able to prepare. We're just excited to be able to get outside and play against another team.
What do you hope to see in these kinds of games heading into the year? I mean, obviously, Kara had a big day, but like, what do you sort of hope to see from these kind of games for a season?
You know, the biggest thing is playing in front of a crowd. I mean, we've been inside and playing against ourselves for a few weeks now, and it's being able to showcase who we have and who's on our roster this year in front of our fans and our support staff. But it's just competing. Like, the game doesn't care if we're playing in Divine, if we're playing against our opponent, or we're playing against Marshall on opening day. It's just about competing one pitch at a time and just the execution that we're asking them to do.
Kara had a big day as well. And heading into her senior year, just what would you like to see from her, obviously on the field and kind of in the leadership role as well?
Biggest thing is with the Kara is consistency, just being consistent in what she does. We don't expect her to do more than she's capable of doing. This is her last year, her senior year. She's had an unbelievable career, and you want nothing better than her to go out on top.
Coach, what were some of your takeaways from today's action?
Oh, I thought we made some really good defensive plays. Really, I think Optigrove had an unbelievable day at shortstop. We had some great outings by Sanaya Hill at third base. Her reaction at third base has been real impressive. But just capitalizing, I think the top of our lineup with a lot of our returners had really great days at the plate. Hit the ball extremely hard. Kara Daly's obviously one of them. And then I think the top two pitchers with McCann and Harrison had really good outings and were extremely competitive.
You know, when you have these good-on-good situations leading up to the season, you know, just how beneficial is it for you to have all your players get to go up against, you know, top pitchers like CC and Marissa, and then, you know, to get the hitters ready for high-caliber competition you're going to be facing all year?
You know, they've been facing them all January long. You know, it challenges me as a coach, and it also challenges the players because there's such familiarity. And what we're taking away from it is how familiar the hitters are of our pitchers. That's how familiar they have to be of our opponents, and being able to know what their out pitch is, what pitches they throw ahead in the count, behind in the count. But, I mean, when you're facing against our caliber of our pitching staff, it's just going to make our offense that much better.
You know, we noticed that Kara was getting to play some shortstop today. You know, how has that transition kind of gone for her this offseason, and can we expect to see her there quite a bit this season?
I think so. I mean, she knows the system, and I think that's the biggest thing. When you lose two senior middle infielders at short and second with Laird and Gallagher graduating, you want to have some consistency in that leadership and understanding the system, so that way it takes the pressure off of everybody. And I think Kara has provided that in the infield, and I think that's helping Updegrove get a little bit more comfortable that the pressure's not going to be on her to be able to come in from day one and being able to replace Jenna Laird. So Kara will be at short to start off, and then we'll be able to work in Updegrove in there to get some experience and kind of take the pressure off of her.
What's kind of impressed you the most about this group throughout the entire offseason?
Their work ethic. I mean, they have an unbelievable work ethic. They come every single day with intent to get better. And that's all I can ever ask as a coach is to work hard, to put forth the effort and have the right approach. And, you know, at the end of the day, we have no control over the result. Like, you can hit the ball hard and it just goes right at somebody. But if we have the right approach and effort and attitude and we have the intent to be able to do what we need to do, we're going to be more successful than not.
What's sort of the transition like coming from the off season? Now you're starting to play games and the games count. Like, what's sort of the switch there that you like to see?
You know, you want them to understand too that the game doesn't care. Like, a ground ball in January is the same as a ground ball in February, is the same as a ground ball in May. And if you make it bigger than it is, then you get caught up in the moment. And that's the one thing I don't want them to try to do more. They can only do what they're capable of doing, and they just can do their job. When they get caught up in what this game means and playing against a Marshall, and then you have Northwestern and then Duke, like, if you make the game bigger than it is, then you start to get outside of themselves. And I want them to just be consistent in everything that they do every day.